frosting looking a little bit rugged. A little bit.
Chocolate.
Shall we say?
Stand still! Look, I don't know what the hell kind of game you're trying to play here, but I'm much too tired for this.
Puka. Nice, roundy.
Shut up!
Nice popos?
Shut up!
You say talk.
No, let's go!
Lumen. Lumen.
Now you and a little girl are gonna have to pay for it.
Tired for this. Tired for this.
So what's up, B?
Watching the game, having a bud.
True.
What's up? Yo, who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone.
Hello? What's that? What's up?
Yo, where's Dookie?
Yo, Duke.
What's that?
Hold on. Hello?
What's up? Yo, who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone. Hello?
What's that? What's up?
Yo, where's Dookie?
Yo, Duke. Yo.
What's that?
What's that?
Hold on. Hello?
What's going on? I think I'm gonna put on the ducks here. Let's see. Just we got a little bit of something. Actually hear that. Cool. All right. I think I have it at 25. All right. What's up, chat? Just got this today. Pre-ordered it a lifetime ago. Fantastic Four Artist Edition, oversized book. I gotta situate this camera crazy high just to try to get the spread of it. I think the book is actually, hell, I don't even know, like 12.5 by 19 or something like that. So anyways, this is just a flip through, all right? Check this out. Again, I see Corey, Noah, and Passmaster. How you doing? Anyone else who rolls in? All right, we'll flip this here. Check this out. Yeah, first time actually too, opening it in front of you. The box was completely hammered. So here we go. It's about the best I'm going to get, so you'll get most of it, but it's about the best I can actually get it to fit. Get this camera ridiculously high just to get this to work. So use my trusty blade here. Also finally got these guys in. These are those refills you can get for that that pocket brush pen that I'm very fond of. this guy here. Yeah, so I do have a converter, an adapter for it, but I'm not gonna chance this. I'm noticing it very, very carefully. I got my methods. So anyways, yeah, I got that adapter for it, but I've been having issues with the ink flow. I do like using the Dr. Page Martin's the Black Star matte finish. I've become an alchemist with it because I mix it 50-50 with the Speedball super black ink, and for whatever reason it's just not very agreeable with the synthetic brush, so I'm switching back to the other brush, the other ink, the standard ink that comes in. It just seems like it flows better. So, but anywho, check this out. Yeah, and I was pushing this for a bit. I know everyone. So, and again, sorry you don't get the full spectrum of this. You can see this here. That's not actually a hair. It looks like this character here possibly wasn't actually on the original drawing. This is actually a paste up. You can just see the Bristol board here that's glued down. It kind of looks like it goes here and then down through Reed's arm up through here. It's sort of this, it's this little patch that he created. So it's this character right there. So we're going to check this out. Damn. Walt Simonson, definitely up there from my childhood. Huge inspiration for drawing. Not that Fantastic Four works so much. I actually got into this later when I had disposable income working at Image way back in the day. The books, they just seem very sparse, and shop owners never really seem to know. You know, the bagged and boarded books, a lot of them wouldn't really want you like popping them open to see if he worked on it besides the cover. And so I'm pretty sure I missed probably quite a few of those. I was more concerned with getting a complete run of Simonson's Thor issues. So I'm gonna try something here real quick. Sorry, this is like, might get janky. I'm not sure. Will this go any? Oh, it will. All right. Okay, so let's see this. This might actually work a little bit better. If you guys, once it doesn't crush me. So it's the bottom right here. That's better than you had. So there you go. All right. So yeah, I get to see some. I don't even know what all is in here, to be honest. I've been avoiding any other streams or videos talking about it. So you can see this is all drawn on old school Marvel board. The only Marvel board I've ever drawn on personally was stuff they supplied to me when I was penciling a comic book called Prime for Malibu. They shipped me a giant box of this Marvel board, and it wasn't my favorite. Definitely, you know, 2 or 3 steps down from the Image paper that we had in the 90s. The Image paper is probably, was the absolute best paper for drawing on, and pretty tough to come by these days and all that. Pretty cool spread here. Yeah. In black and white, you know, even if you're not really a huge fan of Walt's style, he's very super angular. I would say he shares, like detail wise, he shares the same set of details with people like early Mignola, Rick Leonardi, Arthur Adams, mid 80s, late 80s versions of those artists. he did not have a lot of wispiness to his work, like say a Bernie Wrightson or a like Buscema. He didn't really have the soft edge touch. A little more chiseled out. Yeah, this stuff's awesome. So anyways, guys, again, this is just a flip through, just for review purpose. So anyone interested in this, welcome to come by and check it out, see what the contents are. Might be a make it or break it stream for anyone that's been thinking about it, on the fence about picking this book up. And I'm not sure how this is looking on the Utes, but hopefully it turns out okay in the video form. This is the best it's going to get, at least on my end. So yeah, this whole run too, and I think 337, 24, 25. If I recall, there's a handful of issues in here that are actually complete, start to finish. If you chose to look at this book that way, there is a handful. But you know, these artist editions, by no means are meant to be. They're not like buying a graphic, you know, black and white version of a graphic novel or anything like that. You're going to have a lot of gaps. Like right here, you got page 27, then it jumps to 29, right? I don't know. Was 28 an ad? You tell me. Yeah, these are awesome. It's so cool too. You get to see the whiteout areas here. Man, that's just cool. And also, I'm only able to do this video right now because the family, the ladies are, they're swifting it up. They're out watching some Tay-Tay right now. You know, they got those movie theater passes to see the concert thing, you know, so I'm sure they offered. I declined very quickly declined the opportunity to see Taylor Swift's concert in a movie theater setting. This is pretty interesting right here. Okay, so you don't have double vision. This is not 3D. He literally doubled down the line, and I'm not zooming in, because if I mess with this camera, I will never get this view again of 9/10 of these pages. So yeah, he literally doubled down. Every single line here is drawn double. So I wonder if... Okay, the only way I think that you could do this accurately, process-wise, I think that he drew one time. I think he drew the whole image one time. The way I would have done this back in the day, because all they had was no home PCs for computer art scanning or none of that. It was still, you had to send these pages to Quebecor, and they would have to shoot them there for the black plate, right? So I'm thinking that he made a scan of this originally, just the with just one drawing, a scan, or not a scan, but a photocopy of it, and then possibly put it behind this original and pushed it, right? Just that itty bitty, you know, quarter of an inch that this thing is off. And probably Lightbox trace inked that, you know, the printout behind it, because this stuff is crazy accurate. As far as like these lines are like way close to just be able to eyeball them. So that's what I'm gonna think he did. In my mind's eye, I think that's how he did it. I think it's a photocopy. I think he drew it once, photocopied it, put it behind it, and then re-inked, you know, a Lightbox method of doing that page. That's really interesting though. Now in Photoshop, if you want to create this right here, you literally would just blur it, or you would duplicate the line art layer and just, you know, shift, you know, left arrow one time, it'll pop it over that amount. Yeah, super interesting. The old school, the ways of the ancients, which were still prevalent in the 90s. We still had to do some stuff like that, paste ups, stats, stuff like that. Let's see. I see DTF. What's up? Penguin. What's up? Burt's is here. Maycock. Some person. They are not going there. Some person. All right. This is pretty rad. Does anybody draw these kinds of shots anymore? Like, this is a topical double page spread. It's a topical view of a ship, right? Like, granted, he has his own brand. He's very he oozes the Kirby, right? Like, he's got a lot of Jack influence with the large shapes, very like curvy intersecting lines, so it's not just a box. But essentially it is. It's almost like making a Lego ship, you know? I feel like I haven't seen something like this in quite some time, in a printed book at least. Yeah. Damn, I forgot about this. Yeah, Death's Head. Brett Death's Head makes an appearance in here. Holy crap, man! This book is huge. And just so you guys know too, so I actually did. I jumped on eBay, and I was kind of looking at what these run right now. You could find this specific artist edition between 80 and 150. It's going to vary, so it just sort of depends on where you go. I think my pre-order on it was like 88 with I think I got it from what was it, Things From Another, that TFOS site, right? They had a pre-order on it many months ago. So oh man, this stuff's so cool. So cool to see this. Yeah, and I believe most of this, I'm gonna backtrack for a second. I think most of this is actually Simonson inking himself. There is some issues though where I know there were other inkers, and I'm pretty sure it was on Fantastic Four. I feel like Dan Panosian had a hand in something somewhere. I do recall that on some of the floppy issues. So I guess we'll see if any of that exists here. So rad. Yeah, from a design aspect, it's really cool. Yeah, just seeing this stuff. I had an opportunity to talk a little bit with Mark Silvestri about this, because I was he would do some stuff in Uncanny that was a little bit, some of these crops, some of these some of these shots here, they're kind of jarring. It's a little bit off center and things, and I was kind of curious if he, I don't really see Mark as being a fan of like Kirby or other artists that did it. So like the next the closest artist really to that would be a Walt Simonson, or possibly a Gil Kane. But he said Simonson absolutely is like Mark told me this, he said he is a master of design, and say what you will about his work, he's flawless in the design field. His layouts are insane. And really leans into it, really loves his compasses and French curves and hard lines and all that. It'd be a little maddening to have to, I feel like it'd be a little maddening to have to ink them. It's like you wouldn't be able to do a ton of flair on his work. You kind of have to stay true to it a bit. I guess a bit on the contours maybe, but He's very, very, very systematic and precise. It looks like this is a paste up here too, so I guess he had to redraw the head. I don't know if you can see this line here. There's a line here, and it goes kind of catty corner this direction. It looks like this is a patch on this page, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, it looks like he had to redraw this section right here. These, okay, so something I'm noticing that's really odd. I want to know what kind of black ink he's using to spot these blacks, because there is no brushwork inside of any of them. They almost look like, if you know anything about Photoshop, you could take like your line art and you can adjust the levels, and actually it will darken the fully spotted black areas to a point where you can't see anything. You can't see any of your scribbles. You can't see any of where the black ink turned a little bit lighter, you know, a little bit translucent. This is like literally jet black, and it's crazy because you can see the yellowing of the page. You can see the blue Marvel Comics information. You can even see the coloring of the markers and the stamp on Fantastic Four. You can see that this was a felt tip pen with the numbers, and even these numbers have a dithered effect, right? Like it's not completely black. And for whatever reason, inside these panels, there's a little bit of areas where you can see it. You can see a little bit of a lighter area, but damn, I mean, it's like super uniform on all of them. And I don't think that they did anything on the pages, because there are like a lot of the line art where you can see variants in the black. It's not just yeah, I don't know, this is really crazy. I've never seen this in an artist edition before. I wonder if he has a secret recipe for a flat black matte ink. Yeah, that's wild. I can't even get this on my originals right now. So this is kind of, it's becoming a little distracting. All right, I'm gonna flip through this a little faster here. Enough commentary. Get to see some of the Shi'ar Empire coming up in here. Kind of a bizarre pose. I like it. I like it. I appreciate its craziness. This is a badass shot right here. Look this up. I love these shots. You got the oppositional force, anti-view coming at these characters. It's funny. Love it. What's up, Angie? Taking a peek at a Walter Simonson artist edition of his run on the Fantastic Four comic books in the 80s. He did a bunch of issues, and they're kind of spread out. He did like the early 330s, I think through 340 something, and then he had some time off, and then he was just writing it, and then I think he came back before 350. I think 350, or maybe around issue 350-ish. It's been a while. Most of my floppy editions of these books, I had traded off, and because I had replaced them with what is it? The Marvel Visionary series has an entire run of Walter Simonson's full color work of the entire run of these books that we're looking at the originals of here. So, damn, so cool. Yeah, and that's the thing too, because he does borrow so many elements of Kirbiness, that when he draws these celestial characters, they just look badass. All right, so this is 339. It's really weird. So it's supposed to be page 22, but they flip it to page 30 right there. So what happens too, you get a lot of these originals, you know, they change hands, you know, between, you know, 30, 40 people at some time. And so you're going to have little notes, like you have like these blue line notes over here. It says, you can't really see that, but it says transferred, someone for whatever reason, that might be for the mock-up up here. Let me move this down. Might be for the mock-up. Sometimes you, when you would shoot plates, you shoot artwork for plates at the actual printer. Certain things can become distracting where they'd actually have to white them out on the original so that your camera focal area wasn't affected. This one's really interesting too. It looks like, I mean, if I'm counting my zeros right, 00. This possibly might be a $10,000 page because it says 10,000 up here in pencil going up that direction. That's pretty wild. Pretty feasible too. It's kind of with today's market that, I mean, to be honest, with today's market, I feel like this page for a Simonson, probably 27K. You get the cover right here, issue 340. It's a fun piece. Jay Ryan, what's up? Yeah, see this stuff, man. You can't go wrong with the giant hand. Look at this thing is bigger than. Look at this thing is the same size. Howard Chaykin was right. Look at this. My hands were drawn by, yeah, that's what he's talking about. I told you guys, Chaykin would grab me by my wrist and he's like, you have hands drawn by Walt. It's a fact. Look, it lines up. It lines up. I got to do like this, but look, it lines up. Walter Simonson prophesized my phalanges. This is cool. Without context, some of these panels they do come off a little silly, you know, with the emote. I've been getting into this myself. Okay, so like a little bit of just super fine line rendering where you're not like completely you know, leaning into the shading of objects, and you kind of let the brows and you know, forehead wrinkles and stuff kind of do some expressing for you. You don't got to make every character, you know, gritty McGritterton showing all their teeth. Yeah, I'm in awe, man. He did. He drew my hand. Look, that's my hand. Howard Chaykin, you are correct. It's a true story too, by the way. Is that two different amazing Comic-Cons. One of them was Oklahoma City, and the other one, that was my birthday weekend. The other one was it Amazing Vegas? And him and Mark Bagley came over and we're talking it up. And I bought him a drink. You know, my buddy got very upset because he's a big Chaykin fanatic, and all Howard wanted to do was talk about my hands. I was like, these are Czechoslovakian by design. Those crazy Simonson knuckles. It's genetic. They become health problems when you get older. You know what I'm saying? Damn, these layouts. You know the way these layouts. Okay, so like these character stack, it's very, very Kirby-esque, right? But it's fashion forward, and I think, you know, as a kid, so this stuff was coming out. I was 11 years old, 11 or 12, you know, this isn't bad. This is not bad work to grow up on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to grow up, you know, when I first started collecting comics, like actually being interested in them. It was mainly because of the artwork. It just, I was not able to keep up with stories because Marvel they would change hats every 5-6 months. And then also, you know, as a kid, you know, you're basically you're at the whim of your caretakers or parents or whoever. You know, it's like you don't have no money. So there's months, you know, you'd miss 2-3 issues and then get a 4th one and have to, you know, later in life, that's when you start buying back issues from comic shops. You're like, oh snap, I missed out on a lot of these. So I think that's where it kind of becomes about the art, you know, you start having a reverence for different aspects. It's mostly the artwork, I would say, with comics. But yeah, I got to come up with all this stuff. I remember, I always had an affinity for Simonson, Silvestri, and then, you know, McFarlane came in. I think I was in 6th grade. Yeah, 6th grade when McFarlane really started making a splash. He was working on 2 books at the same time. He was working on Amazing Spider-Man, and then there was a handful of Incredible Hulk issues that were coming out at the same time. And this stuff had already passed, actually, though. The Thor books and these were already done because Simonson was already on X Factor. He might have been finishing up Thor, but I know X Factor was coming out. And at some point, Walt Simonson here, he was also doing covers. He did the cover to Marvel Comics Presents #1. I remember that my buddy got it, and I actually skipped out when I saw he wasn't like really involved in the actual book. I was like, nah, I don't need this. Cool cover though. Wolverine's mask looked hella weird, but everything about that cover was cool. Just the mask was kind of stretchy. I don't really know. He was trying to be stylistic with it, but it was kind of odd. This feels like a Jim Lee panel. Damn, he's went full Kirby right here. Okay, so all right, check this out. You can't really see this. Can't really see this in the video. I'll try to show you. So this is something that happens in comics sometimes. So right here on the inner part of this, he has an X there and an X there. That indicates black. That's where it's supposed to be spotted black, right? So that never got hit, and that happens. There's actually, for like modern or more modern day books, really easy ones to find actually is Tim Townsend missed a bunch of them during the Uncanny X-Men run with Joe Mad as the penciler. You'll find them. I kept finding them. It was like underneath of necks. You know how you do that drop shadow underneath the neck. A lot of that stuff got missed out, and sometimes the colorist would try to kind of hide it, but you could see because the X is like super janky. Like there's nothing stylistic about it. It's just the inker hit it, went through spotted blacks, and just missed it because it was that itty bitty, you know, underneath Bishop's, you know, right there on his throat. I'm trying to find this other. Where's this? Actually, it's the cover of this here. So this was doctored. Thor's chest, the printed book, it's blue. It's not black. So I think at some point he actually corrected it. And there's actually an X. If you look at the printed issue of this, the black area of his chest is blue. And you can actually see the X of where they missed it. So I was just going to point that out. So from the time that that was printed and the time that they shot this, Walt took it upon himself to catch that and fix it, even though it's not in print. Yep. So, anyways, sorry. Get back to where I was. So yeah, I missed one right there, guy. Fired. Fired. Yeah, these are fun. I actually do. You know what's funny too? I actually prefer. I prefer Simonson's Fantastic Four to Byrne. I got collected editions of Byrne's. I never actually owned more than maybe 2 or 3 issues of his the floppy editions. I got they were really yellowed out, some sun bleached out copies. They were just throwaways, the beater copies as they call them. But that ass shot. So that's why I got those collected editions, and yeah, I don't know. He wasn't really in his stride. I don't feel like. Definitely though, the Uncanny X-Men and lesser popular Alpha Flight book, but Alpha Flight, I feel like he was doing some really cool stuff in Alpha Flight. So it's a really cool panel. Let's see. Yeah, so I think I just hit the halfway point on here. So this is going 30 minutes. Yeah, not too bad. Probably done in an hour. It's kind of what I planned on. I'm working on a page right now, so just taking a time out. Kick the ladies out the door. I'm gonna make myself something to eat. These are stats. Where did he draw that? Where is this from? I'm trying to see. Okay, so all 3 of these are photocopy reductions of the Rosebud. Okay, so this is the illustration here. So this is the original illustration here. And then on all 3 of these panels, this is a cut and paste job on all 3. So the only artwork on these is these asteroids and the energy effect before it goes full blowout white right there. This is funny. You think that Marvel paid him for this? Look at this. Look, it's a white page that says 24. There's literally nothing on here. There's like a dead. He might have squashed a fly right there. Walt might have killed a bug because there is a dot. Man, what do you think he got paid for this? Like, do you think this is like? I want to own this page. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I would frame this right here, right? It's official. It was the official page used, right? So I'm assuming that someone at the printer like actually had to shoot this, Like they don't have a placeholder that's just white, so they had to shoot this. That's wild. It's not like today where you just save a blank canvas, PSD file or TIFF or whatever. Interesting. And by the way, I'm not keeping track of whether or not these are complete. I'm just looking at these pages. I've always really liked this cover. It's so different for him. He has a very open art style and doesn't really play with using heavily shaded areas that much. Even in the X Factor books, he started playing a bit more with shadows, but I think some of that was just because of the other mainstream artists were really having to do that themselves. They were all kind of on the coattails of like Mignola was getting hot, Art Adams, and those dudes were really doing a lot of cool stuff with their shading techniques. And then of course, Frank Miller. They all kind of fall in line, But yeah, this is very, very, very different, and I really like this the shading effect here. He has his own way of doing it. He is kind of like these knots at the end of the line. What's funny is this is very much like a bat top cow effect, you know. Even this right here, this feels very kind of Will Spartaccio-ish. So it would be interesting to see what Simonson would have done if he lent his style to more of that, you know, more the 60-40 approach, the shading. Seems like he's always been more like a literalist. He's been more, oh, that's supposed to be black, so just drop a heavy black shadow there, you know, and then a render around it, versus all the scaling that goes along with forming the shapes. These are interesting too, so you get to see all this zipatone work going on here. So it looks sepia, but it's actually, it's a zipatone. It discolors over time. And the same thing here, you can see it in here. You know, some of these paste ups, the glue or whatever is discolored them, or it might just be shoddy paper. So did Reed Richards just, oh, I thought that was Thor's hammer. I was like, did he just smack the living hell out of Dr. Doom using Thor's hammer? That's crazy. All right. Yeah, this stuff's really, it's really cool to see. After this stream and after I eat, have no liquids nearby, I will have to come back and look at this stuff by myself. These are really interesting patterns too. This isn't a dot matrix pattern of regular zipatone. It's almost like a mesh, like a woven mesh, like not like a chain link fence, but it's more like has a smoother in out approach. It's kind of weird looking. I don't know what the hell that is. Weird. He does it a lot on these pages. It's like all this subplot, futuristic stuff going on here. He has it going on in all this. This is a wild panel. It's like a MC Escher thing going on. Always really enjoyed the way that he draws the Thing too. I would say though, I think John Byrne's got him in that department as far as like drawing the creature stuff. I think Byrne is a much better grasp on that. But as a whole, drawing the team, I do prefer Walt over Byrne's run. But Byrne also had a better grip also of like the monsters and villains. I would say Dr. Doom for sure. He's a better illustrator than him. Walt kind of I don't know. He has a tendency to kind of flatten. He really focuses on these flattened out edges. Or I should say used to. This is all artwork from over 35 years ago. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so got about a quarter of this thing left. Got another cover piece here. It's pretty cool. I've never seen this corner box art right here. That looks like what was the name? Mark Grunwald. Kind of looks like him, so it might actually be him. Yeah, I've only ever owned this with the UPC in the corner box. It's a cool panel too. What's up, Snugs? Sorry, ignoring chat. Taking a peek through this. It's really just supposed to be intended to be a flip through. Yeah, I feel like this is, I feel like this is like literally based on Greenwald. It looks just like him. All right. Actually, they all are. They're all like clones. Weird. Stuff's so interesting. You know, and you're getting to see here, you're getting to see a lot of 5, 6, 7, 8 panel pages that look really good and fun. There is nothing daunting about a single one of them. So far, it looks okay. Yeah, so we're in the 353, so this must be around the end of his run on it. Like I said, there was a break for sure, and some of it might also be that some of the issues in between. Like I was saying, I do recall seeing other inkers, other ink assists on a couple of the books, and I feel like I saw Art to Bear's name. And I also feel like I've seen Dan Panosian's name as inkers. And I think that the pages that Walt inked of himself, he's probably got majority of that in his own possession. That's why they're able to provide an entire full-length book, right? Like, he doesn't really sell his work. So maybe on splits, right? Like, you split with the inker and that. Like maybe on splits, those inkers already sold their pages and they're just not attainable. You know what I'm saying? Like they're sold. I mean, if they're sold 25, 30 years ago, who knows where they are? I met a kid, this is kind of a crazy story. I met a kid out in Paris who, I went over there first. We had to go to batting practice, and I go over there first as a comic fan. This is a badass cover, by the way. Love this. Such a good take on like simplifying characters, and they still look really cool and dynamic. But anyways, he had a Sal Buscema, it was a Spectacular Spidey page, thumbtacked to his wall. It was an original, which he actually attempted to color with those super crazy, like thrifty brand hand like markers. Like he somehow acquired this page and then hand colored it. I think because, you know, and now Gen X really reveres original artwork like it's currency now. In the 80s, even the early 90s, I mean, you were able to buy Jim Lee covers for like $2K. Like X-Men covers were like, interior pages. I remember seeing Jim Lee pages for like Ink by Scott, $250 at conventions, and like people just passing by. Like nobody wanted that. Like they just wanted the printed material. No one wanted the originals. Very small group of collectors. I remember seeing Urs McFarlane, one of the Spider-Man covers. I still remember the guy had it for $2,500. It's one of those things where I was like, oh, if my tax return is big enough, I might actually I might think about this, right? Like it wasn't like a for sure thing. And now, you know, now those covers auction for 6 figures. It's like, how much are they going to get? It's not like will it, it's like, how high will it go? Madness. Madness. It's fun to be part of an industry that's just absolutely ridiculous and crazy. It's a really cool layout. I actually like this. It's super simple, but I dig this. I dig it. All right, we're almost to the end here. Let's see what's in the back. Like I said, I have no idea what is actually in here. I have avoided as much as I wanted to look. I was like, I'm just gonna wait for my copy to show up. I don't want to know anything about it. I'm the same way with movies. I don't watch trailers. I don't do none of that. It's like if I've decided I'm gonna see it, I'm gonna see it. Yeah, so I skipped videos on this thing. It's cool. All right, so it doesn't look like there's much else after this. It's got a little bit, an abridged version of Walt's biography, self-portrait he drew way back in the day. I can't even read the date on that. Some super close-up piece right here. Yeah, this is cool. This is weird. This is almost like the way Frank Miller draws now, right? Like this is like a crazy zoom in of a page, but how giant that is. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Like I said, this is the Walt Simonson Fantastic Four Artist Edition. I don't see any announcements for a Artisan Edition, which is like when they put out the smaller softcover versions of these. But yeah, I checked eBay before firing this up. You can find copies between 80 and 150, and you can find them online too. I think Things from Another Universe probably should still have it as well. And then cheap graphic novels. I don't know. I don't really traverse most of those. I like instant gratification of the pre-order. So, anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out. Let's see. I'm going to end this thing. We'll do Denny's. I gotta make some food.